Boys and girls, this is the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and you're listening to Going In Raw, baby.
Hey guys, this is Charlotte, and you're watching Going In Raw. Going In Raw. That sounds terrible.
What's up, it's your girl Sasha Banks, Legit Boss, and you are watching Going In Raw. You like that?
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson, and available wherever podcasts can be found. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, the notify bell next to it.
Yeah.
Make sure you always get your new Going In Raw notifications. We're also available on the Patreon at patreon.com/Steve and Larson.
Yeah.
I think we have some new patrons from over the weekend, so let me see if we need to do any shout-outs at $1 and up. Today, by the way, we have a bonus episode available for $1 patrons and YouTube channel members. And then the rest of the week, it's all for $5 patrons and YouTube channel members. Sure enough, we do have a couple new patrons here. Manny Cruz, Brendan Lee Jeffrey, and Richard Fitzpatrick. Thank you very much for your support.
Yeah.
Anyways, it was a packed wrestling news weekend.
Didn't really pay attention to any of it during the weekend because we were busy partying up.
Fidelio.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good times, man. You look like you're having fun with that ping pong, dude.
Yeah, I get into I can be kind of competitive sometimes.
Sure. Yeah, but you had a giant smile on your face the entire time.
Fun. The most fun I had is because we went to this place.
That wasn't like Jordan-esque competition.
No, I got close because I could tell pretty soon once you started playing that you've played a decent amount of ping pong in your life.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Whereas I've only played I can count on one hand probably the number of times I've played.
Sure, yeah.
So I like improving at things.
Oh, yeah, sure, yeah.
So when we had a chance to go one-on-one, I was like, come on, bring it to me.
I know.
I want to get better.
Yeah.
Anyways, but I'm surprised no one told me to stop because I'm sure it was really annoying. But I'd play a little bit and sit down because we had this table and we were sharing amongst the 10 of us. And we'd do doubles and sometimes occasionally one-on-one. But I'd be sitting down on the couch nearby. And so the place where we're at, you hit the balls, and if the ball goes off the table, you just leave it alone because someone's come around and pick it up for you.
Yeah, it's great. So
I'd be sitting on the couch, and I'm sure this is annoying as all heck. I'll pick up a ball while people are playing and just toss that ball on the table.
Yeah.
To confuse people.
I don't think anybody cared.
No one cared.
Yeah, because they were all goofing. When the Ping Pong Pro came over, I wanted to challenge him.
Oh, you should have said that.
I just wanted to see.
He came over because I almost hit someone with the ball.
Yeah, I know. I wanted to be like, hey, dude, I don't know how good I am because I've only played against like Lumps and my dad. But I know I'm okay. But I don't think I'm not even. I watch that stuff on TV sometimes.
Well, I mean, yeah,
they're crazy.
You're not Olympic level by your imagination, but
not yet.
Where the ball's at and how to hit it, and because like I was telling you, the thing that was upsetting me the most. This is going to turn into a ping pong podcast.
Oh no!
Is I would hit it and hit straight through rather than on my motion hit down, so the ball has a downward trajectory as you hit it over the net. Because I used to play tennis with my wife quite a bit, and so I got that.
Yeah.
But I lost that muscle memory though.
Yeah. Well, it's a different thing. Also.
It is.
Anyways, let's get right into it because there was a lot of it, and it's funny because you mentioned that we went out partying this weekend, but a lot of this stuff just happened. Like New Japan decides, so we'll get to that in a second. New Japan decides to announce a big new company based here in the U.S., and they hold a press conference at 3 o'clock in the morning or midnight our time, U.S. time. So that was
but that's that was middle of the afternoon.
Sure. Yeah,
their time, so it was like perfect for.
It's a U.S. company
owned by New Japan, though.
Anyways, let's talk about the Seth Rollins stuff.
All right, sure.
This is great.
So before we get into the Seth Rollins stuff, congratulations to Kenny Omega, the new Omega champion.
The new Omega champion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In AAA.
Yeah.
I got to watch that match. Anyway, so you probably think that Kenny Omega be at the top of the world right now after winning himself that Omega championship after defeating Phoenix at AAA's Heroes Immortalis.
See.
Show this weekend. But then Seth Rollins had to go and ran this parade yesterday during his appearance at Fandemic Fest or Con. There's like a comic convention or something.
Big comic convention
in Houston. During a panel, Seth was asked about possibly facing the cleaner at, maybe WrestleMania. And here's what the architect had to say. You want to do this in Seth's voice?
Yeah, sure. When Kenny is done playing in the minor leagues over there, he can come to work at the absolute top professional wrestling company in the world in front of the most people to make the most money and have the biggest matches. which is with me at WrestleMania.
Dang.
I love that. That's great. That's so awesome.
See, this is a level of trash talk that's completely and totally acceptable.
I appreciate this. Defending your own company is completely okay. Calling yourself the best is totally awesome.
Some friendly jabs over the competition.
Acknowledging your competition in the first place.
These two guys know each other. Their paths probably crossed in some capacity.
They would die to have a match
when
with
they
each
were
other.
in Ring of Honor.
Seth Rollins is probably one of the reasons he ever considered joining WWE in the first place. Back when Triple H was trying to recruit the elite. And so no, this is totally fine. What's not okay is criticizing fans for simply wanting to know more.
Yes.
And then pointing to your bank account as that's when it's like, dude, come on, you're being kind of a D-bag.
Yeah.
But this is great. This is awesome stuff. This is cool.
Yeah, that was
like
cool.
This.
Friendly trash talk.
And it's like he's the number one guy in the WWE. He's the Universal Champion over there.
For the time being, at least.
Right. And he's saying that. Is this a lump right here?
Uh-oh.
Is this going to explode?
You got a growth on your laptop there.
Well, that's not good.
Just notice maybe something's overheating in there.
It could be.
Maybe press down harder, it'll fix it.
That's so going to explode on us.
Well, the battery.
Anyways, so yeah.
The battery's in the back, right?
I don't know, probably.
Probably the hard drive's right there or something.
Yeah, who knows. Anyways, hopefully it doesn't explode.
Maybe it's getting full, so it's swelling up. You need to clear some space off that.
I don't think that's the case. I don't think it works that way, buddy.
Sure.
Anyways,
when I get full, I
he's talking
get
about
larger.
That's not information, man. That's lentils.
Hey, lentils in a number of days.
He's talking about having a match against Kenny Omega at WrestleMania.
These two guys have talked around this whole scenario for a long time now.
Yeah.
And Seth's mentioned it. This is the most recent example. Kenny's mentioned it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just two guys who probably know each other.
Yeah.
Just talking a little trash.
Mm-hmm. No, I think
healthy.
This is great.
It's good.
This is good stuff.
In other Seth news, it might have been at the same event. He was recently asked why doesn't wear that awesome like gold and white gear he wore like late summer, early fall 2015.
It was
he
immaculate.
The WWE champ.
Was
I think he debuted it at SummerSlam 2015. Wore it at Night of Champions.
Yeah, he won. That's when he won both the titles. I think he had that suit.
When he had both the titles, yeah.
When he had them, yeah.
When he beat Cena for the U.S. title. And this is what he said, quote, No, I can't do it, Seth. No, Vince won't let me wear it because he's a weird old man who doesn't understand that people think it's the coolest gear they've ever seen. I don't know if I go that far, but it's pretty awesome. Yeah, he doesn't get it. I get that question more than anything else. What does that mean? It's just huge, man. People loved it. I think it's in the archive. I gave it to our archivist guy. He puts it up at all the accesses and stuff.
Yeah. What the heck? Well, the kind of shady thing about this, the thing that kind of sucks for Seth on this one is, and I know he's probably a savvy enough guy, but like the video camera that was recording this was not on him. It was moving around like it
just
was
happened to catch the conversation.
Like it was either like maybe the dude thought, hey, I'm going to grab a selfie, and he just turned it on to like, get it ready or something. Like maybe I'll just get it all video and then I'll just capture a still frame or something. Or he was just on the slide trying to capture Seth saying something.
Hey, when Hogan got in trouble, what did he go and tell the locker room?
He said, if I'm not mistaken, he says, don't say terribly racist things.
Well, he
didn't say that.
He didn't say that. He just said in a broader sense, watch what you're saying because there's cameras everywhere.
There's cameras everywhere, brother. Why didn't Seth take that lesson? Maybe Seth thought like us. That's not really what he should be saying right here.
Oh, it
but
totally
it's totally true.
It's totally not what Hogan should have been saying at that
but
point.
It is
no,
true.
it is true.
It is true. Oh yeah, I like. Yeah, I mean, I'll look. Look. Do you think Vince understands that he is a weird old man? He should.
He might.
He should. You think he has that low level of self-awareness?
I think he's both completely unaware and completely aware, if that's
Yeah,
possible. It just depends on the subject.
Yeah, he's an oddball, that's for sure.
Like,
But,
in one sense, I wouldn't be surprised if like during a course of conversation Seth had with Vince, Seth just goes kind of in a joking manner, stop being a weird old man.
Yeah,
Vince.
I know. This is something that I think that Seth would totally say
Yeah,
to his face.
I think
he
so.
probably has no he'd probably laugh this off.
Yeah.
So it's not really that. It's not really that offensive.
No.
But yeah, no, it's good stuff. Seth obviously look, man. If Seth if he could do a talent trade, you think Seth would be the first person to line up if Triple H is like, hey, we're doing a talent trade, we're doing a co-promotion with New Japan. or
hell yeah, man.
or AEW.
There's all those dream matches he'd want to have.
He'd be front of the line. That guy, he wants to.
I
show
mean,
people that he's
Seth
the best.
is WWE's foremost cheerleader, and as the number one guy, I get that. That's kind of part of what. I'm sure he probably feels that's his responsibility publicly because he is champion, but I'm not, also to kind of keep morale high backstage.
Yeah, sure.
He probably thinks that's his responsibility.
He's also kind of a dorky guy. So
he is
when
a dorky guy.
When he does stuff like this, it's kind of dorky.
It is, but I feel like more than anything, I'm sure he makes himself a handsome payday. He probably likes the spot he's in because the attention it gets. Nonetheless, I feel like he's in it because he really loves wrestling.
Yeah,
and he
absolutely.
likes performing.
Yeah, for sure.
And so every opportunity, I think, for him to showcase his abilities, which are vast, he would jump on that opportunity.
Yeah.
So like you put him give an opportunity to have a match against Okada, he'd jump on that in a second.
This is a bummer here. Xavier Woods injured.
Yeah, this sucks.
Yeah. So it appears that he was injured last night during a WWE house show in Sydney, Australia. The match saw Woods and Big E take on the Revival. Apparently, it was a pretty fun match for how long it lasted. At one point, Woods was sent towards the ropes and immediately started clutching at his leg. The match was stopped. The dreaded X was thrown up by the ref, and Woods was helped to the back by the training staff. He later tweeted, "Sorry, hashtag WWE Sydney," with a GIF. It's like a little medical GIF, which describes how one can injure their Achilles tendon. No official word from WWE on Woods' injury, but a ruptured Achilles would keep him out of action for months.
Yeah. DeMarcus Cousins, he ruptured his Achilles. He was out for 9 months?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the latest thing that he did? Quads?
Tore his quad.
Quad, yeah.
But then he somehow made it back from the playoffs, so it must not have been that major of a quad tear. I thought that was insane that he was only out like a month or a month and a half. How long was it?
Yeah, that was crazy.
So it was Achilles tear. That's pretty serious.
So that was what
injury.
DeMarcus Cousins had.
Yeah,
okay.
when he tore it with the Pelicans. Yeah, so it's a pretty serious deal. Yeah,
that's a bummer. I mean, the thing that he has going for him is that whenever anybody because at various times throughout their lengthy time together, various members of the New Day have been out due to injuries, and the New Day never really seems to lose a step.
No,
because there's three of them,
and they're all great.
They're all great. They can all pick up the slack.
Yep.
And then when somebody is able to sort of be present ringside or whatever, they're there. If they're in crutches or whatever. But yeah, that's a bummer.
It is a bummer.
That's a bummer.
It is
but
a bummer.
The New Day will be fine.
They'll be fine. Hopefully, if this is the case, there's no official word from WB, and really him posting a GIF about how one like a slide or something from a old medical industrial type film. That's short of him or WB saying directly Xavier Woods tore his Achilles.
Yeah.
I guess we shouldn't jump to conclusions, although when that's the tweet and he needs help exiting the ringside area, you can't injure an Achilles beyond tearing it.
Yeah.
That's just kind of like the worst thing you could do to it.
Yeah, there was like a shot of him exiting the arena.
The walking boot and crutches.
With a walking boot and crutches, yeah. So.
Yeah, none of that's good.
Yeah.
None of that's good.
Looks like, it's not good. Look at that.
Man.
What the heck? All right, hold on a second. Let's do this. Properties.
How long has that been going on?
I don't know, man. I'm about to find out, though. People are probably going to tell us. There we go.
We're back.
There we go.
Sorry about that, everybody.
It is what it is. Anyways, before we continue, Larson, here's a word from our sponsor, forhims.com. 66% of men start losing their hair by the age of 35. And once you start noticing your hair up there going bye-bye, it can be too late.
But do you really want a bald spot to pop up, your hairline to whoop, start receding? Or do you want to do something about it first? And why would you try odd solutions when you could turn to medicine or science to do something about it? Get fired up.
Medicine.
Of course you go with medicine and science.
With forhims.com, you can be the best version of yourself with licensed doctors and FDA-approved products to help you treat your hair loss. We're talking prescription solutions backed by science.
Science. Hims was created by a dude who knew that some men's health conversations are easier had online rather than in person. So with Hims, you don't have to stress about awkward in-person doctor visits or long wait times at the pharmacies. 4hims.com connects you with real doctors. All you got to do is answer a few questions. A doctor will review your responses, and if they determine it's right for you, they can prescribe you medication to treat your hair loss. that's sent directly your door, is completely confidential and totally discreet.
Get the hair loss treatment everyone is talking about. And right now, friendos can get started with the Hims Complete Hair Kit for just $5 today. Right now, while supplies last and subject to doctor's approval. See website for full details and safety information. This could cost hundreds if you went to the doctor or pharmacy somewhere else.
Go to forhims.com/GIR. That's forhims.com/GIR. forhims.com/GIR.
Apparently, according to chat, we were only frozen for like a little bit. Once I saw it is basically when it happened. So we're all good.
Way to be on the ball, Steve.
You know who else is on the ball? New Japan Pro Wrestling, because they have announced that they are coming to America, living in America.
I thought you were going to do the Neil Diamond America
We're
song.
coming to America.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I mean, they've been here. They've run shows, plenty of
several,
them here.
Yeah, the last 3 years, yeah.
So, like, they held a press conference last night, or in the middle, for us, it was middle of the night. And for, like you said, in Japan, it's like middle of the afternoon or whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they decided to announce a new separate entity or subsidiary, really, called New Japan Pro Wrestling of America. The subsidiary of New Japan will be based out of California, right here. Probably actually south of us, near the LA dojo.
Yeah, in fact, in this press release, they said that they're going to change the dojo from strictly just a dojo to a dojo plus like office operations.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's going to be based in LA.
Right on. Dudes in suits going to show up, and it's like, it's sweaty in here.
Yeah.
It's so sweaty.
Probably.
Smells like a locker.
We'll officially begin operations in November. They issued a pretty lengthy press release following, or maybe in conjunction with, the press conference.
It was sort of a wrap up of the press conference.
Yeah. So we'll pick out a few bullet points here. There was like a 3-phase launch.
Yeah.
For the whole thing. Phase 1 was discovering new wrestlers and markets outside Japan, developing talent through the LA dojo, which they have been doing. We just saw Carl Fredericks, I believe his name, win the Young Lions Cup.
Yes.
There's been some other wrestlers. Well, the whole idea, I think, the Young Lions Cup was LA Dojo versus New Japan Dojo. Phase 2, run events in the U.S., including at Madison Square Garden in Dallas this year, both independently and with the assistance of other promotions. So that's been done. So the Phase 3 was establish a company within the U.S. and be ingrained in the everyday fabric when it comes to fans' wrestling's consciousness. And then they went on to describe kind of the appeal of the brand and how the American subsidiary would probably adhere to, like the touchstones of New Japan as a brand. Strong style wrestling.
So they sort of, number one, they're even in the little press report here, they're very aware, as they put here, especially as competing cash-rich promotions are being established. Of course, AEW, WWE's already been here.
Yeah.
But they seem to have done lots of market research into this, and it seems as though they understand that. They just throw this demographic out there really quick. In Japan, the male to female ratio is closer to 60-40. According to them, over here, I think they claim it's 80-20, which is a pretty big difference. And so, that would obviously, I don't think anybody asked this question, which is kind of surprising, but nobody asked, hey, are you guys going to have a women's division? Because that's kind of like, the norm here. I mean, for the big companies anyways, they all have women's divisions. Of course, New Japan doesn't. They did recently acquire Stardom, which,
Well, Bushiroad did the
the company that owns New Japan did. However, they said that they're going to just run that. They just see potential in that. They're going to run that as its own thing, as it's been.
Yeah, and just grow that company.
But given that it is sort of the standard here for the bigger companies to have women's division, it wouldn't surprise me if whatever shape this took on, if that would include a women's division, but also wouldn't surprise me if it didn't, because that's New Japan is going to do what New Japan wants to do. So yeah, there is, they said that they have 5 key areas that they will be touring for New Japan Pro Wrestling of America. In the West, 6 cities across 4 states, and they had like a little map thing, but none of the actual cities, if I'm not mistaken,
We're listed now.
were actually listed. But I mean, we can assume. They've run in the Bay Area.
They've run LA.
They've run LA.
Because it said 6 cities across 4 states on the West Coast. So you have Seattle area, Washington.
You got Seattle, possibly
Portland.
Portland.
I would think Portland. So that leaves 4 cities. Oh, 4 states. So maybe
6
Vegas.
cities across 4 states. Vegas makes sense, and then maybe Denver if they're considering that.
Well, I mean, like if you assume that the bubble, the bubbles they had over those particular regions encompasses.
It just looked like the West Coast. So I'm not.
It
sure.
looked like the whole West Coast. Yeah,
Arizona and
kind of encompasses where they're thinking of going. It wasn't anywhere close to as far east as Denver.
It wasn't. I mean, maybe Arizona.
Maybe it's either Vegas or Phoenix, probably.
Yeah.
So that's 3. So that's 3 cities in California. So probably be L.A.
4. Yeah.
Long
L.A.
Beach. They always run Long
San
Beach.
Jose.
San Jose or San Francisco.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Yeah.
Sadly, no Sacramento, probably. Bummer.
Well, we can take the train there. Let's see here. Joshua Martinez says, please include Portland. It's not that far away from Seattle, man. Take the train.
I did. I think I said Portland. Because it's 2 Pacific Northwest cities. It's probably going to be Seattle and Portland.
Seattle, Portland. Yeah, that's a possibility. And then sort of in Texas, 4 cities, Dallas, Austin, Houston, or
San
Dallas
Antonio.
and San Antonio.
Probably.
Those are the big ones anyways.
Southeast, 6 cities across 4 states. You got to think Florida, Atlanta. That's a hot wrestling town. Charlotte, probably. They just ran a show there not that long ago, sometime this year.
Yeah.
Maybe New Orleans. And then East, 4 cities across 3 states. You got to say New York.
Sure, yeah.
Philly.
And
then probably Boston area.
Boston.
They just ran they just did an East Coast swing, and it was I think Philly, New York, and Lowell, Massachusetts, which I think is just outside of Boston.
They also, I skipped over this, but the Midwest also. 7 cities across 6 states. Chicago's got to be one of them.
Yeah, you think Chicago,
Indianapolis,
maybe Minneapolis, Milwaukee, Madison.
All over. They said that this sort of would enable them to allow the majority of the U.S. fan base, around 70%, according to their market research, to be able to attend a New Japan event and see New Japan action relatively close to them. So, like within a couple hours, you know, I would think that's what that means. You know, unfortunately, if you're in Alaska, sorry, you made that decision.
Guess so. It's your
Can't
choice.
see anything.
Your choice to live in Alaska.
Can't see anything.
You got some notes here from the Q&A portion of this press release. First, will tours in the U.S. run concurrently with Japanese tours, or they run at different times? And then the answer, main idea will be the U.S. events will take place while a Japanese schedule is between tours. So with I assume with the idea that they can bring out not necessarily Okada or Naito, but they can bring out some well-known
Yoshihashi.
Yeah, some well-known Japanese talent to help anchor these shows as they're getting started while they develop their own.
If like Sonata sticks around,
yeah,
he might be.
It'd be interesting to see. I mean, I'd be very surprised if any of the mid-card and up talent from the current New Japan roster says, you know what?
Do you think
I'll give it a go in the U.S. for a while?
Do you think that the United States Championship is going to be the headlining belt?
That would be interesting.
The headlining title, maybe, for this?
Could be.
It'd be weird if they had another world champion.
Yeah,
for a separate brand.
It'd be interesting if they had the U.S. title out here as the top belt, but still have it on their major shows.
Yeah,
obviously.
Yeah, for sure.
Which means Lance Archer would be heading out here.
Yeah.
And
then they ask, what's the plan for like how many events per year in the U.S.? So they've run between 12 or 13 events. In 2019, he thinks they're going to maybe double that next year.
Which still isn't a ton.
No, it's one every 2 weeks or so.
Yeah, it's 2 a month roughly. Yeah.
It's 2 a month, which, I mean, I don't know. It depends on how, they're going to do this. I mean, I don't know. We were talking about this a little bit before, like we ran. A lot of people are blowing this up to be a bit bigger, I think, than it actually is. It's just, there's going to be just double the shows out here next year with like talent that, I don't know. I'm not sure how successful they've necessarily developed. Like, what did you name? Carl Fredericks?
Yeah.
It's not exactly a household name.
No.
So, I mean, this is going to be New Japan. They build things. And so I'm sure they have a long-term plan for this.
I wouldn't be surprised if this 3-pronged plan they've had is what they started their launch with way back in 2016.
Yeah.
And regardless of what happened, they've stuck to that plan.
Yeah, exactly.
Like when we came in and started talking before we were rolling, I was like, man, it's kind of surprised they didn't do this a year ago. Mm-hmm. And then if they had, then maybe, granted there's money issues in play too. Maybe the elite guys might have stayed.
Yeah.
Or if they'd said, oh, wow, this all, got some word about the elite guys maybe want to start their own promotion. Maybe if they had thought, oh, maybe if we accelerate our own plan and do something in conjunction with them, that'd make a huge splash for us in the U.S. market.
Yeah.
But if they thought, okay, we have a plan, we're going to stick to this plan, and we're not going to deviate from it for any reason, and, who knows if given how the elite especially announced their departure, if they'd even want to do business with them anyways. It doesn't really seem like it now ever since they've left.
Yeah.
But you think if this is something they want to get started, if they could have done it with those guys still on board, that's huge news.
Yeah. So here's the thing: All Elite Wrestling changed a lot. Oh, the formation of that company changed a lot of things here, especially here in the United States. New Japan, like you said, they were obviously planning this westward expansion. I would think, assuming they had the Elite on board, and like you said, they're plowing ahead regardless. Yeah, but it's obvious that they would have been a cornerstone of this. Oh yeah. I mean, if you look at all the first, while they still had the Elite, they were the thing when they were doing those first shows here in the States. All Elite changed a lot of that. Yeah. And sure, I think you can take a look at one company specifically that's been hit the hardest by All Elite, and that's Ring of Honor.
Yeah, and they're going to be hit hard too if New Japan decides to stop their partnership with them.
And seemingly there's nothing left on the there was this one line in the Fightful rundown of this that I didn't know if it's from the actual press conference or if they're just looking at the schedule, in that it says previously New Japan had worked with Ring of Honor, but as of now, no more joint shows are planned. I'm not sure if they're pulling that from something that was actually said during this, or if they're just looking at the schedule and they're seeing literally nothing is planned on the schedule. Yeah. But without New Japan, Ring of Honor is going to have a tough go of it. I mean, they have all that Sinclair money, but I don't know how much they have. Did you see?
Because Impact had Bound for Glory last night, a venue in Chicago, and on Twitter, someone posted pictures of the crowd at that show, which I guess was sold out. Bound for Glory.
That's cool.
And then Ring of Honor ran a show in the same venue, and it looked like it's maybe half the people there.
Man, I mean, say what you would, like, Impact can be very silly sometimes. Like, there was a thing over the weekend about how, like, their Twitch stream was running off of people. They were, like, airing it using people's phones. Yeah. Like Josh Matthews, like, here, I need my phone back. We have to find another phone to get the stream back going. Yeah. Which, on one hand, good for them, because that's like, that's a guerrilla way of doing things. Yeah. If you're down, these phones can do amazing things these days.
They can.
All right? Don't underestimate these things. But they're running their live stream off phones, which is kind of silly. At the same time, I saw a ton of cool stuff coming out of Bound for Glory. They have some amazing talent over there, and they do some really cool creative stuff. It's just every once in a while you'll see like them shooting themselves in the toe, business wise, or what have you. But they're going to be on Access, so that's cool. And then New Japan is on Access too. Maybe New Japan looks at that business deal and is like, oh, maybe Impact has their stuff together. We'll work with them. We're not going to lock ourselves into a Ring of Honor contract anymore, because there's so many more partners now, at least with Impact and AEW, that we could potentially work with. I mean, we see how it's paying off for All Elite with this AAA thing. I mean, man, AAA is like, yeah, your top guy can be our champion. Sure, why not? Kenny obviously had a massive relationship with New Japan while he was there, in terms of how important he was to them and their Western expansion. It makes sense that they'd say, hey, you know what? Let's work together. Yeah.
Devil Kazuya says in chat here, Ring of Honor had 200 to 300 in the same venue that Bound for Glory had 3,000 in last night.
Man, Bound for Glory drew 3,000 people. That's awesome for them. That's really cool. That's really neat. You see Ken Shamrock, 55 years old,
jacked.
Looks amazing.
Yeah, man.
Looks crazy good.
Here, let's talk about Impact, because they got themselves a new talent.
Yeah, man.
For the second time.
Yeah.
Joey Ryan.
Oh, yeah.
Signed not with AEW, but with Impact, as reported by SoCal Uncensored. King of Dong Styles going back to Impact. The site reported that Ryan had signed a multi-year deal, and that, quote, Ryan reportedly accepted the deal with Impact Wrestling because they would allow him to continue to accept independent wrestling bookings and do the promotion's progressive views on intergender wrestling, something Ryan is a strong advocate for. In a subsequent tweet, Joey said, quote, "It made the most sense. Impact Wrestling has been the most consistent wrestling program on TV for the past 2 years. I get to keep all my indie dates, and best of all, they let me be me." Joey made a surprise at the Call Your Shot Battle Royal last night at Bound for Glory, and my understanding is he Peters Plex a bunch of people out of the ring.
That's cool. There's no way he was gonna be able to do that on TNT, and there's no way he was gonna be able to do that in NXT or WWE.
No.
So I'm pretty sure that they let me be me. I wonder if there's any resentment there, because I'm pretty sure that was like I mean, you got to figure it's probably a Tony Khan thing. Like, dude, I don't know what to do with it. You can't do that on TNT.
Yeah,
and that's so much his thing.
Yeah.
And so Impact comes along and says, hey, you could do everything you do. Just do TV for us, because it's not like he has any other options. Probably got a decent deal with them.
Yeah, you fly to wherever they're doing the TV once a month, stay there for 3-4 days, do a little TV, and then go back to your indie dates. Totally cool. Someone who apparently is not accepting any more indie dates, Jake Atlas. Again, this is also according to SoCal Uncensored. He said to WWE, quote, "We can confirm that Jake Atlas, real name Kenny Marquez, has signed a developmental contract with WWE. Will be reporting at the Performance Center in Orlando in early January." They mentioned Atlas had begun informing independent promoters he would be available for bookings after December, and that, quote, "several sources confirmed that he had signed a contract with WWE and is scheduled to report at the Performance Center early January." Apparently, he debuted in 2016.
That's insane.
So in 3 years, he's made a huge name for himself.
That's insane.
He wrestles all over the state of California. I know he's wrestled for APW some. He's in Bola this year. So he's a really, fast rising star. And, this is going to be the situation now, since most of the huge, long-standing major names in the independent scene have been signed up. We're going to see probably a lot more of this, of guys who, are out of training 2-3 years, who in that short amount of span of time have really managed to catapult themselves to the upper echelon of even regional independent wrestling. Those guys would be
snatched up.
Those men and women be signed super quick.
Yeah. He's a year younger than Humberto Carrillo.
That's crazy.
I mean, Humberto's probably been wrestling since he was for 12 years now.
Well, I was reading up on Jake Atlas because I know Cal's been on shows with him and spoke highly of him. Said he's incredible.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a ton of his work.
Me neither.
But I guess he has a gymnastics background. So that's going to be incredibly helpful, or apparently has been incredibly helpful in helping him adapt to pro wrestling, because he already knows how to roll and bump. He knows how to do all the basic stuff. I would think. So looking forward to see what he does in NXT. I guess it's time to catch up on his independent work.
Yeah, we should probably check out some of his PWG stuff, because apparently it's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's interesting stuff. Apparently he had I think this was from Meltzer. He said he had offers from Ring of Honor and Impact. He said he wasn't sure, which is surprising to me, that if AEW had contacted him or not. But yeah, Meltzer's really high on the guy.
Yeah.
Until he shows up in NXT.
Speaking of NXT, let's talk WWE programming tonight. Raw. That's on. First entry on Raw.
Raw preview.
Seth Rollins discussed burning down the Firefly Funhouse. Have him do things instead of just talking about them. Universal Champion Seth Rollins has been burning it down metaphorically in the ring for years now as one of WWE's top superstars, but he took his moniker to a literal level last week, setting the Firefly Funhouse ablaze. After escalating his issue with the Fiend Bray Wyatt in fiery fashion ahead of their Falls Count Anywhere match that can't be stopped for any reason at WWE Crown Jewel, Rollins is set to address his actions live on Raw. Tune in this Monday night to hear what the Beast Slayer has to say.
What do you think he's going to say, man?
Burn it down.
I had to go there. Sometimes you have to go there. Sometimes you have to
go to that dark place to burn the Firefly Funhouse down. And that's what I had to do. It's all to set up a match with Kenny Omega at WrestleMania.
Next up, Flair to name final member of Team Flair for WWE Crown Jewel. Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan have almost filled out their respective teams ahead of the massive 5-on-5 Team Hogan versus Team Flair showdown at WWE Crown Jewel, but one spot still remains. Flair will reveal the final selection for his squad live on this Monday's Raw. Not likely to be outdone by the Hulkster, picking Roman Reigns as his captain this past Friday on SmackDown to join his teammates Ali, Shorty G. Ali said he's going to donate. I think he said he's going to donate all of his.
I loved his tweet.
That was awesome.
Announcing.
He was a real American, and Hulk Hogan.
Oh man, Ali is the best.
It was like, it's not like I'm proud to join it.
A real American and Hulk Hogan. I've been selected.
I've been selected, yeah.
To be on Team Hogan. Then, yeah, he's donating all his payout for that show to
Basically
charity.
just read, I don't quite have the stroke yet to say no, but man, one day. Shorty G, Ricochet, and Rusev. Rest assured that the Nature Boy will respond with the worthy counterstrike. Already representing Flair are captains Randy Orton, King Corbin, Bobby Lashley, and Shinsuke Nakamura. So, Larson, who will be the final superstar to join Team Flair?
I feel like it should probably be Andrade.
I'm hoping it's going to be David Flair. That'd be great. Should be Charlotte. How awesome would that be? That'd be cool. Great. It's her dad.
Yeah, I know.
That's her dad, you know. How about this? Arn Anderson, master of the spine buster.
He doesn't work with it.
RoboCop. No, can't be RoboCop. Sid. He was...
Briefly. The Street Profits challenged the OC with a mystery friend in their corner. The OC landed the first shot in a new turf war with the Street Profits. Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins will have their chance to respond this Monday, and they're bringing backup. Did you see that promo that they cut at the NXT show?
I was about to bring that up myself.
Man, that was great.
Why don't they do more stuff like that for their TV presentation?
I know.
Because it was, that was real.
It was.
That was emotion right
incredible.
there.
They crossed paths backstage last week with the OC ostensibly excited to welcome one of Raw's newest tag teams to the roster after the WWE draft. However, it proved to be a little more than a ruse, ending in a savage beatdown that has become synonymous with the Red Brand's resident bullies. Now the Street Profits are set to make their Raw in-ring debuts against the team of Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson.
Machine Gun Carl Anderson.
With United States champion AJ Styles. And the OC won't be able to rely on the numbers game this time around, with Ford and Dawkins being joined by a mystery friend. Check out Raw this Monday at 8/7 Central on USA Network to see who has aligned themselves with the Sultans of Swag.
Is it going to be Ricochet or is it going to be Cedric Alexander?
Or Matt Riddle.
It's a dream I had it. No, it's... I hate they say, hey, who are we going to bring? And then Matt Riddle responds and says, bro. I hate because, come on, I want to see that.
I know.
I want to see it. WWE, you have it in your power to do that.
I know.
Just give us what we want to see.
Give
me what I want.
That's Matt Riddle promoting himself, man.
I know. He's great at it. Okay, first of all, I'm not your bro. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Next. What the hell? Sin Cara returns to Raw against Andrade. Some were surprised by you. Hey, this is probably going to be a good match. Some were surprised by USA Network's selection of Andrade and Zelina Vega to close out the first round of the WWE draft. We weren't surprised because they announced it beforehand on their .com. But they provided an immediate return on investment last week with an impressive win over a proud member of Team Hogan, Ali. He should go to All Elite Wrestling. All Elite Wrestling. Sin Cara, who returned to the Red Brand after being drafted last week, looked to stifle the hot start to Andrade's Raw tenure when they meet in one-on-one action, mano y mano.
Yeah, see.
Be sure to watch Raw this Monday night at 8/7 Central to see who reigns supreme in this matchup between two of WWE's most dynamic competitors. I think Andrade is going to win that one.
7 points. 7 points for old Larson. Rey Mysterio appear live on Raw. Another 2 points for me. Rey Mysterio make his first appearance on Raw since being selected in last week's WWE draft, having even the odds after his brutal assault last month at the hands of Brock Lesnar by bringing in former UFC heavyweight champion Cain Velasquez. He tries to take the Beast WWE Championship. Who tries to take the Beast WWE Championship at WWE Crown Jewel after taking Lesnar's UFC title in the previous clash? What is next on the agenda of the Ultimate Underdog?
Hey, Dragon Reborn here mentions the Sin Cara 2K20 clip. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
That was hilarious. Funny. Good for them, man.
Pretty funny. Do you want to do a
They really just should have just completely thrown their hands up in the air and just given no Fs with that game.
I know.
If they actually did have to code that all from scratch.
Stick figures wrestling.
Right? I mean, I guess that's what Ribby was. Hopefully you guys watched our comedic take on the WWE 2K20 thing. Video game coming out.
Yeah.
It comes out, I think you can play it tomorrow.
22nd. Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah.
You want to do an update on...
Oh, wait, does that mean you can play it tonight at midnight?
Probably.
Nice. I might do that.
Update for our draft. Right now, you have 77 points, and I have 66.5.
Oh, you're breathing down my throat, brother.
Still close, man. Still close.
Breathing down my throat.
Still close.
Oh, man. The draft to end it all or something.
No, not to end it all.
The friendo. This is Steve versus Larson in draft action.
Yes.
Fake
Hot
draft
action.
Fake draft action. Anyways, you want to take some questions?
Sure.
All right. Let's see here. Power Packers 90. Isn't it hypocritical for Seth to complain about football, which he's not paid big money to do for a living, like he complains about the fans for doing? I think it's so that's.
I mean, usually when he complains about football, he just tweets, "I hate football" when the Bears lose.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's not necessarily. He doesn't tweet about, well, Mitch. I haven't seen at least. Mitch Trubisky needs to be cut. He's terrible. It's just his emotional state post Bears wins or losses. Because when they win, I love football. When they lose, I hate football.
Sadly, I have to defend Seth Rollins in this case. Yeah, he's not. And tongue is pretty firmly in cheek when he tweets that stuff.
Yeah.
If he actually hated football, he probably wouldn't be watching football and tweeting about football.
Like I said, it's just his emotional state after a Bears game. Quoth the Raven, there have been hints the Fiend might feud with Miz when SmackDown went dark Friday. Should Bray involve Miz's kids in their possible feud?
Yes, he'll eat them.
Wow.
Right?
Probably not.
Little metaphorical little dolls that symbolize kids.
Still weird.
He's all, nah. No? Oh, good.
Afraid not. Marcus B., you guys are the absolute best. P.S. I miss going in Raw View.
Yeah. You're like one of the few who missed that.
Power Packers 90. WWE is selling an Undertaker Legacy belt now.
You said you hated that tie.
I think it's pretty silly.
Oh, I think it's terrific.
Carlos Davalos, how will WWE mess up the Falls Count Anywhere match? It'll be stopped for some reason.
It can't. Did you not see the tagline?
It was in air quotes. I don't take that seriously. They're saying it sarcastically.
Well, hold on a second. It was in literal quotes, not air quotes.
Yeah, but
this is air. You can't. It's air.
It was in air quotes because there was no reason for that sentence to be in quotes.
For the quotations to be
there.
There
was no reason for that to be there. So there, I took it as sarcastic air quotes, and therefore they're saying, "Oh, the match can't be stopped for any reason."
I took it as being part of the booking meeting notes that somebody actually Vince said that,
Could
so
be.
it has to be the case.
Could be.
But I don't know. We'll find out who's right. I don't know how that's going to go down. Let's see here. I think somebody here in the Discord, which you can get access to for $1. And they have their own predictions league going too. They have a bunch of cool stuff going too. They're all trash, but they're great. Let's see here. Arma asks, if you guys ever do a fun /WCW draft again, we'll totally do that. We're just gonna
do it differently.
Yeah, we're gonna do. We'll have a draft, and we'll probably do monthly shows or something. Will you guys please do it the same as the WWE draft you did? Oh, with Burl and that's a possibility.
Jesse Gatz.
That's a possibility. That could be fun to play. That could be fun to do.
Greg Morris, Larson, with 2K20 coming out and Fun's future up in the air, do you want me to create the next evolution of Larson Hunter? Larson Hunter is always welcome in whatever we do.
Yeah, man.
Gaming-wise.
I think that whoever that is has a really good... Who is that?
Greg Morris.
Oh, Greg Morris.
Yeah, Larson Hunter is always great.
You got a good shot at getting some of your creations in. You've got a good legacy here. Hafty, is there any way to make Seth look cool again? He's got mid-2017 Roman Reigns go-away heat vibe with me right now. Nothing he does is fun or interesting.
Look cool or just be cool?
I think he just means be cool.
Oh,
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, his ring gear still looks great. Well, he didn't wear the white stuff when he had that Mania match against Triple H. He had some gold-looking gear that was awesome.
That was rad. Yeah. To be cool, I don't know. I think he's kind of a dork. I'm not sure if you're going to get maybe a heel turn.
Well, and Alex Rodriguez here says in the questions on Twitter, why is Seth Rollins so cool?
Wow, so they need to have a commiseration.
I guess so.
They need to talk.
Jason Lewis.
Ambulate a little bit.
Will New Japan's American brand help or hurt Ring of Honor? Oh, it's going to hurt. If they don't run co-promoted shows with Ring of Honor, either in the States or in Japan anymore, and they are competing for fans' attentions, probably in similar sized venues.
And they mentioned that too. They're running they're looking at sort of 2,000 venue or
2,000
capacity, seat venues.
Yeah, they're definitely gonna have to have some guys from Japan come out.
Henry the horny accountant asks, "What do you think of the Buddy Hield deal with Sack?" He's happy.
Yeah, if he's happy,
it's not my money they're spending.
No,
he's a good player.
Apparently, he didn't get. I don't think he got the guaranteed money he wants, but there's an extra $20 million in incentives.
There's a bunch of incentives,
and some of it I was reading on Twitter is fairly attainable.
Mm-hmm. Just take care of yourself. Don't go for an Olympic medal, and you'll be fine. Let's see here. Greg Morris. Oh, speaking of Greg Morris, Larson Hunter creator. Steve, I'm getting together some CZW's DVDs to send to you.
Cool.
Do you want a list of what I can send? I have Tournaments of Death, Cages of Death, among others. Yeah, just whatever you got. Whatever you want to send it. I'll eat it up.
Quentin, will Tessa win the X Division belt or the World Championship first?
She's going to win the X Division title. I think they like a lot of people were like, oh my God, I can't believe they had what's the name of the dude who won the X Division last night?
Ace Austin.
Yeah, thanks. So he won. A lot of people were like, man, Tessa. Did you see that tumble that big dude took?
Oh, AC Romero. Yeah.
AC Romero. Oh yeah, AC. Yeah, he was the dude who did the big pounce. That's right.
Yeah.
Holy crap! They need to be careful with that stuff,
that was crazy.
man. Big fella like that can't be taking those big tumbles. Hafty, put a team together of who you think are the best ping pong players in wrestling from any time period.
Oh, any time period. Wow, man.
I feel like Kofi would be a good ping pong. I feel like the smaller athletic guys. Like John Morrison's probably a good ping pong player. He's
Ricochet,
older.
probably.
Ricochet could be a really good ping pong player.
Because more than anything, ping pong, you need that fast twitch.
You know who would
muscle
probably
memory.
be the best? Who could be the best? Leo Rush. Super short, so he's got that field
And
of
he's really
view,
quick.
And he's super quick.
It's all about the fast twitch muscles with ping pong. Because
Yeah,
you got to
man.
react on a dime.
Yeah, dude.
You don't have a whole lot of time.
It's also, that's what my dad always tell me. He says, I just wait till the other person makes a mistake. He doesn't do the flashy stuff. He just deflects everything.
Keeps it on the board.
Yeah, exactly. Keep it on the board. And then we can talk about this a little bit. Henry, the horny accountant, again. Laparca got hurt real bad. Yeah.
So apparently he lost sensation in some of his limbs as well.
During a match against Roosh,
Yeah.
he did a suicide dive, and his head went directly into the guardrail, like head on, like top of his head, and he just went limp.
Yeah.
They came out immediately. Roosh knew that something was off there. And at the time, Laparca said he couldn't feel his legs, but then later on he regained
feeling.
feeling.
So hopefully it's just a stinger.
He went through surgery, and there's not yet been word in terms of what his
apparently
recovery.
they thought he might have some vertebrae broken in his neck. This is from Fightful. Because I guess they took him in for surgery right away.
Yeah.
So Lucha Central is reporting that Parker could not feel his legs, and injury was feared to be a neck fracture, though that's not confirmed. Parker did regain mobility in his limbs and was in stable condition at the hospital. Lucha Blog is reporting that he underwent surgery on Monday morning, currently out of surgery and recovery. Super Lucha is reporting that Parker was diagnosed with a neck and cervical fracture, and the surgery done to him was to relieve pressure from the fractured vertebrae and to repair it. So it sounded like he broke some bones in his neck.
That sucks, man. He's 53 years old. So wait a second, I'm confused.
This isn't L.A. Park. This is La Parka. L.A. Park was the original La Parka. This is new La Parka.
Okay. How old is L.A. Park?
He's one that's probably old.
This guy's 53. They said this guy is 53.
Oh, okay.
Unless maybe somebody here was confused.
I don't know, man.
La Parka, not L.A. Park of MLW. I'm sure somebody in chat can clue us in.
Yeah. That still all kind of confuses me.
It is very confusing.
Minoru Suzuki sent a super chat. Kenny's NXT comments and Seth's comments today were both great and funny. I don't see why wrestling Twitter has to be fake mad.
People just like to yap and yap. It's really it's clearly not a big deal. Let's see here. Their map, this New Japan map cracks me up.
Well, I guess it does extend further east than I thought it did. The West Coast bubble. Doesn't quite go to Colorado, does it?
Colorado's right there, so no, it doesn't.
But definitely.
But Denver wouldn't surprise me. I mean,
No, it
look,
wouldn't surprise
who
me.
knows? I mean, come on. This doesn't look like it's got the most accuracy in the world, anyways. You know.
You never know. I mean, does the green Midwest bubble even cover 7 states or how many states?
I mean,
How many states did it say?
one.
Like, are they really gonna run a show in Iowa?
3, 4, 5, 6,
6 states,
7,
6 states.
8, 9.
All right.
I
So it'd
mean-
be Detroit, Chicago.
There's like nine states that it touches.
Detroit, Chicago.
Why didn't they just
Milwaukee,
highlight the
Minneapolis.
states?
I'm sure Sioux Falls, South Dakota's getting the show.
Hey, dude, if it says 7 cities, why don't they just tell us what the cities are?
Because they don't know yet.
But why is it such a specific number then?
Don't tell you.
That's a very specific number.
Maybe they do. They just want to. They don't want to keep people in.
They're doing it just to spite me, is the answer.
Oh, that's the correct answer.
Yeah.
You
let's
flatter
see.
yourself too much, Steve.
Maybe I'm just crazy. Zaya, I don't mind competition and trash talk, but how the fans view Seth currently, and how AEW have basically said they're not even thinking about WWE, I would have kept my mouth shut. No, that's not a question.
Black Mega Man, do you think Seth knows how not great he looks on Twitter nowadays, or does he actually think he's looking good doing all this? See, in this scenario, I don't think there's nothing wrong here. This is friendly trash talk. That's all it is.
Yeah, people just relax.
That's all it is. It's
all
some
good.
friendly trash talk between two guys who I'm sure know each other pretty darn well.
It's all good. It's all good.
In fact, I'm going to look to see if there's a Tyler Black versus Kenny Omega match from Ring of Honor. I'm sure there is.
I suspect that it's probably going to be all 2K stuff.
I'm pretty sure.
Versus Daniel Bryan.
No, Seth Rollins in this match.
Oh, cool.
I've seen bits of that one.
Versus Tyler Black.
It was a Ring of Honor title match.
I suspect that he probably thinks that the online community is a bit on the silly side which is true, for how hardcore they respond. That being said, he also doesn't seem like the most self-aware person on the planet, but I don't know. Let's see here. I got a Twitter thread. Nope. Oh, this is a great question from Mr. Triple Mania, Juan Guerrero Jr. Since the Young Bucks and now Kenny Omega have won AAA championships, conversely, which AAA luchador do you think has a chance to win an AEW championship? And you can't say the Lucha Bros. So, okay, right now there are no obvious answers because they haven't done any talent trades beyond what we've already seen.
Yeah.
But I would love to see like Psycho Clown come in.
El Hijo del Vikingo.
Yes.
He won the Copa this weekend.
Yeah.
That'd be my pick. That guy's incredible.
That's a really good answer. Let's see here. And on top of that, I wonder if one way to maybe entice him to stay with either AAA would be, hey, let's give him a big flat platform. Let's try to get him a big platform at AEW so he doesn't try to go to WWE or something.
AP1, Larson, have you heard anything about SmackDown possibly switching nights in the near future? I thought I remember hearing something back when the contracts were signed and it was announced that it was Friday, but that down the line
it was kind of up in the air
for like in the future.
Bit.
Yeah. For now, Friday. Later on, maybe it will be a different night.
But that's also kind of just, that's just TV for you. If something's not working on a particular night,
they'll move it to a different night. It all depends on how ratings are. And I guess it was 2.4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's kind of settling back to where Raw is.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Carlos Villalba says Aerostar, huge push in AEW.
That'd be great. I mean, they would need like a mid-card title.
Dragon Reborn says Minotaur guy Taurus. Taurus is great.
Taurus is awesome. But again, they would need like a mid-card title.
Probably.
Otherwise, you're looking at like, tag teams.
Oh man, Taurus seems like a main event guy.
Rick Bagley, do you think all the chaos in WWE is due to Vince's management, or seeing other opportunities is giving more wrestlers the freedom to be vocal about being upset with their careers? So if you're talking about when he says chaos, he means wrestlers asking for their releases.
A lot of general discontent with how wrestlers are being used.
People are more vocal. You see Three's on TV. He's on Twitter a lot.
I imagine part of it is Vince's whims. Part of it, the roster is so large and so stacked with talent. Mm-hmm. It's just hard to find spots for everybody, I'm sure.
Well, I think in terms of people wanting their releases, I think that this is directly related to the fact that there's a lot more options. There's a lot more money being thrown around, and even more now with New Japan.
Yeah, same, especially with New Japan's U.S. subsidiary.
Yeah, like the landscape has changed so hardcore in the past couple of years.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see here. You've read a bunch of these. Sean Hulver says, hey, friends, do you think there's any chance that the Street Profits mystery partner tonight is either Matt Riddle or John Morrison? No way, man. It's going to be either Cedric Alexander or Ricochet.
Mm-hmm.
I would put...
I would say Cedric, because Ricochet, he's on Team Hogan, so whatever they got going on with all that, probably
that's a good point. Yeah, it's got to be Cedric then.
That'd be my guess.
But we'll find out tonight. Anyways, I think that's it for the show.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say thanks to everybody for tuning in. on $1 patrons at patreon.com/Stephen Larson.
Hold on a second.
What's up?
What was the tag match for SmackDown last week? Is Daniel Bryan and Roman against Nakamura and...
Why am I drawing a blank right now?
I know I am too. That could be who's on Team Hogan. No, that'd be Team Flair. I mean Team Flair.
It was Nakamura and...
Hold on. I have it right here, I think. Corbin.
Oh, he's already on
No,
there.
he's already on there. Never mind then. All right. So much for that.
So, yeah.
All right.
The last guy. Well, what other heels are there?
It's Andrade, man. It's going to be Andrade.
Yeah, it's going to be Andrade. Totally going to be Andrade. Anyways, thanks everybody for tuning in. We appreciate it. Everybody's telling us Baron Corbin now. He's so forgettable.
And yet not.
And yet not. We've got a bonus episode coming up in probably 10 minutes or so. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Until next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.